My name is Brian Yampolsky. I am the owner of Orion Mortgage. We're a local mortgage broker in the Phoenix area. Working from home during this wonderful time of the virus, but that's why I'm wearing a hat. And what was your other question? I didn't hear the other question.
What services do you provide for your clients?
Oh, services. So we work with people who either want to borrow money to buy a new home or invest in an investment property or buy a vacation home or even refinance whatever existing mortgages they have. So we're working with a lot of first-time home buyers, multiple-time home buyers, realtors, that sort of thing.
Okay. Are you locked into a certain price range for a home, or can you do different types of homes? Does the dollar amount matter, or can you help anybody?
You've heard that size doesn't matter, right? It's true in the mortgage business.
I've heard that.
Yeah. So no, we don't have our average loan size is right at about 300,000, but
Okay.
I have a client right now who's trying to buy a $190,000 house, which is really hard to find. And then I've got a $1.3 million refinance. So it does range, with the average being right at about 300.
Okay, great. Thanks for sharing that. Okay. So how do you get involved with Driven with us, with our company?
So I first became aware of Driven through a friend of mine who's a real estate agent that I do work with. Her name's Debbie. And I noticed that she was getting more involved with her marketing. And she had mentioned that she hired you and hired Driven to help her with that, but I didn't know what that really meant. But I did notice over the course of maybe a couple, 2 or 3 months, that I was seeing a more consistent and focused effort from her in terms of marketing. And I'm on the receiving end of her, just like her database, I receive all of her stuff. So that's how I got made aware. That's how I got introduced to you and Driven.
Okay. So what was going on in your business at the time that maybe, started looking into the relationship and database marketing that we offer? Or what was going on in your business at the time that you wanted to make a change, look into this?
Yeah. So I would say, first of all, I've been doing this business for a long time, about 27 years. And I have a good business and everything's fine, but I still have goals that I'm trying to reach. And if I'm being honest with myself, I wasn't really executing on the things that I had laid out in front of me, that I said, okay, I want to do this. I want to do this in a perfect world. This is what my business is going to look like. I'm going to touch my clients this time, this time, this time. And, I had the plan, but I wasn't following through with it to develop the relationships. And that's the whole key behind my business. Is I'm a very relational business person. I only work with people who I want to work with and who want to work with me. So it's all based on referrals, and those referrals are integral to those relationships. So I wasn't executing, to be honest. I had a great plan and I just wasn't really doing it. So I was on the road to hell.
Well, good. I'm glad you got off the road to hell and that you joined us. That's great. So what has our team put into place or implemented for you? I know you've been working with us for just a short time now, about 30 days maybe. So what has been put into place for you up until this point that you've been excited about or you've seen results from?
All right. So that's a good question, because before I hired you, I called Debbie and I said, hey, I'm thinking about hiring Driven. But before I do, can you kind of give me the lowdown? Should I hire them? And she said, the short answer is yes, absolutely. She said, it works, do it. And so I said, okay, I'll do it. And I really hired you without a clear continuing again with not really knowing what I'm doing. But I hired you with just that vote of confidence from her. And what your team did, and it took me a while to understand what they were doing, because I just started doing it. And then I realized what they were doing was they were putting together kind of a comprehensive campaign of touch points. And those touch points were through text, they were through emails, they were through voicemails, they were through videos. It's like a fully armed battalion of relationship-based marketing. And it was hitting on every level, which is what I wasn't doing. And
Yeah.
so that's what your team put in place for me.
Awesome. Have you talked to Marketing Concierge about an event sometime soon? I mean, obviously we're in a point where no one's leaving the home for a few weeks, but once this ban has been lifted, the social distancing is over. Do
Yeah.
you have plans to do an event?
Yeah. In fact, we had the coolest client party planned on actually
Oh,
this coming Saturday, March
yeah.
Madness. We had a
Mhm.
March Madness party, and we used your staff to help us, get the word out and send out texts to kind of get responses from people. And we'll utilize that again once we're able to. But yeah, our party's been postponed, unfortunately, but we'll get to it later.
Okay, good. Postponed, that's the key word, not
Yes,
canceled.
right.
Okay, so the last question I have for you today is what would you say to someone who's considering using Driven and hiring Driven?
I would say to them, ask yourself honestly if you're really executing on your
Mhm.
plan. And I think the challenge is, even especially when you're successful and when you have business, it's really easy to get distracted by the business. So I can be doing loans and be working with people and busy, 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 and all of a sudden my marketing plan gets put on the side because I'm busy. And so I could hire an assistant and train them and get them up to speed and pay them a salary and do all those things. Or I could just recommend that you hire Driven. Who's that? Oh, hi, Jack. That's my son.
Hi.
That's called working from home.
I love it. This
Yeah.
is real life here.
So I would say it's much easier, not only easier and less expensive to hire Driven, but the speed of implementation is immediate. You guys started doing things for me, and I didn't know what you were doing, and it was only until after the fact that I realized, oh, this is a really good idea. So my advice is
Good.
to say do it and just pull the trigger.
Just do it. Those are some wise words there, Brian.
It's all
Well,
mine.
thanks for meeting up with me today. I appreciate your help and I appreciate all
pleasure.
your kind words. And
Well,
if there's anything we can do to help you, just let me know.
thank you. You guys are doing great. I'm really happy.
Thanks, Brian.